What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here. Today we're going to be talking about Starfield. Starfield was one of my most anticipated games this year, and I bought the early edition to be able to play it early, and I've dumped about 20 hours into it right now. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what I think of the game, because there's some controversy with it, and, you know, if I think it's worth the money or your time to even play. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Zydax PCs for sponsoring today's video. If you're looking for a pre-built PC that can withstand the test of time, check out Zydax PC. They have a lifetime warranty on parts, so if something fails in your computer a couple years down the road, they will fix it for you for free. They build some awesome rigs, and they've been a partner of this channel for years, so make sure you guys check them out down in the description below. So Starfield, the best way I can describe Starfield is a mix between Oblivion, Fallout 4, and Outer Worlds. TLDR, I think the game's awesome. I really enjoy it. I've played all the, all the Elder Scrolls games before, all the Fallout games. Fallout 76 was such a travesty, and I hated every second of it. But this kind of goes back to that universe and adds a bunch of different things from a bunch of the different genres and rolls it into one. And I really do enjoy it. There's so much to do. It has a slow burn at the start, but there is so much to do in this game that I keep finding new things to do. And that just immerses me even more and just takes me on a different path. I haven't even done any of the main story. I'm just constantly finding other stuff to do. Now, I know people have the attention span of a squirrel, so I am going to talk quickly about the things I do not like with the game right off the bat. Now, the first thing I don't like is, of course, the space travel. I set my bar really, really low, and so that way I wouldn't be disappointed. Now, it's not like Star Citizen space travel. You can't fly down to the planet and land everywhere. You're just constantly doing little fast travel actions. You fast travel to the planet, and you're stuck in this little zone around the planet. You can't fly around it. You have to click on somewhere on the map, and it'll take you down into there. And, of course, it's a little loading screen. It's not like No Man's Sky or Star Citizen. I honestly didn't even think that was going to be the case with this game, so it didn't disappoint me much. The second thing I don't like is there is no real star map on the ground. You don't get this map to where you're in a city and it shows you where all the buildings are, or a city map or anything like that. You have to bring up your scanner to kind of show you the path of where you need to go for certain quests and things. I'm sure modders will fix that. Probably not going to fix the space travel, but they're going to fix the map stuff. Other than that, it's still just a fast travel kind of space game. The space stuff doesn't even make much sense to me anymore. It's just more I get down on the planets and I go and have some fun. But the good stuff about this game, there is a ton of stuff to do. Whether you want to run cargo, run passengers with your ship, be a pirate, bounty hunter, collecting on debts, you can build your own outposts on the planet, mine your own stuff to either build stuff or sell it. There is just so much stuff to do. You can explore, you can scan planets, sell all that stuff. Or just do missions for all the different factions. There's a mission I'm doing right now where I'm a spy for the UC Navy, and I'm infiltrating the pirate group to find intel for them and stealthily steal all the intel and bring it back to the commanders. There's just so much stuff to do with this game. The world is huge. The story building behind it is amazing. I really enjoy it. It is a good Bethesda game, and I gotta say, I've encountered like one bug. This is the least buggy Bethesda game I have ever seen them do. And that's coming from, if you play Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, bugs everywhere. Even to this day, even with modders taking care of them. This game, literally no bugs. I don't know what they did, but it shows they put some extra little love into it. The combat in the game is pretty much kind of like Fallout 4 without VATS. It's pretty simplistic. It's fun. The AI is kind of dumbed down a little bit. Modders will take care of that. I promise you, they always do. And, it is fun. It is rewarding. You can still get yourself into some trouble. But the gunplay, the guns, of course, it has the gun upgrading kind of like how Fallout 4 did with the workbenches and things. But the gunplay is pretty good, and it mixes well with the world building because you can, do space combat, go into a ship, and then suddenly you're in zero-G combat, and you're throwing mines, landmines, in zero-G, and they're just flinging towards people like a frisbee and exploding. It's really fun. The combat has a bunch of different variations to it, and I'm enjoying the combat. It's not too bad. If you're familiar with Fallout 4's combat, it's pretty much on a similar scale of that, minus the VATS. The space combat, though, is really nothing to write home about. Of course, you can upgrade your ships, build your own ships. I ended up finding like a legendary named ship, so I've been kind of sticking with that. But the space combat itself isn't really that great. It's just kind of fly around, point, shoot. You can always target systems, disable things on the ship, and then dock and go and take over the ship, which you can either sell the ship, take all the stuff from the hold, or, you know, take the ship as your own if it's a better ship than yours. Really nothing to write home about with the space combat. It's kind of just is what it is. I feel like the ship is just a storage point that fast travels from place to place with me. And it's kind of forgettable with the space combat. So I really haven't been focusing too much on that other than when missions make me focus on space combat. Just because it just feels like the ship is just a home that fast travels around with you to these different planets. Which, you know, I don't really seem to mind too much because there is so much to do and so many different places to visit. Now, the game is said to have over 1,000 worlds, and there's plenty of different worlds on the maps. You know, some worlds are more handcrafted and have nice, huge, big cities in them and settlements. Some of the worlds have, like, abandoned settlements and things. But one of the things I did notice is that when you get to the planet, there's nothing really shown on it. You can grab notes from other enemies that'll pop up an outpost on a different planet that you can actually go and visit. Most of the time, if you get down to some of these planets, they won't have much on them, or maybe there'll be one outpost. You land on the outpost, you look around with your scanner, you can see stuff in the distance, you jump your way on over there, you find some pretty cool stuff. Sometimes it can be a quest, sometimes it can be a base that you go and assault, but it really kind of focuses you on exploring. You have to kind of get around and look around, and see what's around, because it's not going to pop up on your star map to be like, hey, I need to go here. You kind of go to the planet, you land on like maybe one outpost, and you go around and explore. Now, some of these planets, yeah, you can run a little bit, and then you get to a loading screen. Kind of figured it was going to be like that. I don't understand why people thought this was going to be like Star Citizen, where you could literally just run across the entire planet with no loading screens. I think now people are starting to see why Star Citizen has such a long development time, because this shit ain't easy, which is why Bethesda wasn't able to pull it off. So you can see now why Star Citizen has taken so fucking long to make, because it ain't easy doing a seamless one-to-one scale world, because Starfield couldn't even pull it off with Bethesda's backing. But I'm liking the exploration. There's a lot of stuff to do in this game, man. Like, I really feel like with just 20 hours into the game, I've just literally scratched the surface. I haven't even completed the second main story quest yet. And I'm just finding constantly things to do, new weapons, new weapon types, new tasks I can possibly do, new different types of tasks. There's a lot to really go down onto it. And some of these story missions are really cool. Like, you find like a Batman type cave with like hidden gear and stuff, and then, you know, where you find a colony ship that needs help and the planet below them doesn't want to help, and you have to intermediate between them. There's a lot of different variations of missions, and some of these story missions are actually pretty cool. Even the side missions are really awesome. I've been having a blast with it. I think it's something that if you enjoyed the Elder Scrolls series or the Fallout series and you go into it not expecting much, you'll enjoy it. But if you thought it was going to be this crazy space RPG that put the scale of Star Citizen and No Man's Sky together into like a Fallout Elder Scrolls type game, you're going to be disappointed. You set the bar way too high for that type of game, and you're probably going to go into it disappointed. If you set your bar low and, you know, and you go into it with an open mind, you will enjoy it. But if you thought it was going to be something crazy that was never done before, you're really going to be disappointed. Just because that kind of tech to make seamless worlds and go around is incredibly difficult to do. And people give Star Citizen shit for it all the time, but I think they're starting to see now that that shit ain't easy. And, you know, if you expect Bethesda to have that kind of tech and put that into this game, you're sadly mistaken. That's the number one complaint I see from people, is all these loading screens, and I can't fly down the planet. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you, man, but after all these years waiting for Star Citizen, you're probably going to be waiting a long time before you see a game do that kind of stuff. But overall, I gotta say, 9 out of 10, man. 9 out of 10. I think it's great. It's definitely a game I'm going to dump hundreds and hundreds of hours into, come back to just like all the other Fallout games. And to be honest, I thought when Fallout 4 came out, that was a 9 out of 10 for me too. And I really have put thousands of hours into it with mods and different things and going back. And honestly, every time I go in, I still find something new. And I feel like that's going to be the way Starfield is. You go back into it because it is so big and there is so much stuff to do. Every time you play it, you're going to find something different. Or you're going to find something you missed. And I think that's the joy of it. We need more single-player games, man. Everything is multiplayer lately. It's annoying. And we're finally getting back into these good single-player games. Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield. I really enjoy this. I think if you're somebody that's been wanting a big RPG single-player experience with modding support, this is going to be right up your alley. But I want to know what you guys think. Think Starfield's a disappointment, or is it something that you're really going to play the shit out of? Let me know down in the comments below. Talk to you guys later. Peace.